Cedar Point's epic refurbishment of Top Thrill Dragster has finally been announced, and the big name is Top Thrill 2.
T3.
Oh no!
Somebody said that in one of the comments of one of the videos, and I was like,
no, it is.
It is
T3's back. Wow, didn't see that one coming. Anyways, the big new refurb is exactly what has been rumored for months now. Zamperla is coming in and turning it from a hydraulic launch coaster into an LSM triple launch. So it's going to go forwards, backwards, forwards over the top hat. And the addition is a 420-foot tall spike.
Yeah, so I'm interested in the fact that first of all, they went with a vertical straight spike. I envisioned them going with something that was more like twisted. I thought they were going to pay homage to Wicked Twister.
That seemed like that was one of the big questions that was going to come from this announcement, was what sort of spike are we going to see? And then also, like, are we going to see a straight launch, or is there going to be an airtime hill in there? I mean, everyone had their own concepts of like what this was going to look like, and it's a straight spike. There's no airtime hill, and I mean that's pretty much it.
So they're calling the first element a rollback, which I think is interesting because their whole thing is, like Dragster was famous for rollbacks. But a Dragster rollback was getting to the 400-ish foot spot and then rolling back. This will be launching at 74 miles an hour and getting like 150. Like, I don't even think it'll be vertical yet. So I don't really love that they're calling it that because it's not anywhere near what the rollback experience was.
Yeah, I think that's one of the, honestly, things that I'm not hugely crazy with about this, because like there are aspects of this that I definitely like. I don't think it's going to be perfect by any means, but I wish that it was launching at a bit faster of a speed so that you went higher up the tower. I mean, that's a big pull up there into that top hat, and it barely makes it vertical at all.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most disappointing part. I am concerned a bit about the capacity of this because it already had a long line, and now given the experience is longer and they're only running 3 trains, how is that going to go? Because Cedar Point's always packed.
The main thing here was that like Dragster was already really unreliable. So the whole goal with this is to make it more reliable. And so to do that, they're, swapping out the hydraulics for LSMs. That's a much more like proven technology, less of a headache. By doing that, they are lengthening the ride time, which solves the problem of Dragster was a really short ride. We're looking at like 17 seconds from start to finish.
Oh, but it was the best 17 seconds ever.
Oh, it was amazing. So now we are drawing it out, so it's going to feel like a more complete ride experience, but then you can't run as many trains. You can't have as many people pumping through that line because, well, now you have the train that's literally going back and forth. I mean, luckily they have a switch track, so they're able to still load while that's going on. But it's not going to be the dual station setup, the dual unload like the original Dragster.
Yeah, and, I think we should talk about Zamperla here because, one, I think the trains look great.
Yes, definitely. They're lightning trains.
Yeah, they look really comfortable. I mean, they look like akin to, the trains you get on, like, Pantheon.
Yeah.
Or Tutatis
definitely
or something.
Similar to the Intamin ones. We literally sat in the lightning trains at IAAPA.
It didn't feel much different.
Very, very comfortable. I think it's going to be a very nice riding experience.
Yeah, and I want to, be hopeful that this will go really well for Zamperla. Like, I know a lot of people are just counting them out right away, and, like, I don't want to do that. I do think it's interesting that they were like, we want to go for something that's more tried and true, like LSMs, and then to go for something that is the complete opposite of tried and true, which is putting their faith into a company that's never done a big roller coaster before, like Zamperla.
Yeah.
So there must be something going on behind the scenes there that they are very, very confident, because I don't think Cedar Point would mess around.
No, definitely. We've never seen anything like this before. So I think everyone has their eyes on this project because they want to see how this is going to go. Zamperla is tried and true with their flat rides, kids attractions. They are the leader in that department, and they are playing catch up when it comes to roller coasters. Within the Cedar Fair chain, they've done the Wild Mouse, and they did Pony Express at Knott's. The main thing here will just be reliability. Long term, as long as it has more uptime than Dragster, which was down all the time, then I think we'll be good.
I think we just need to be thankful that, one, it's still going to be here in some sense.
Yes.
Because they easily could have, well, not that easily, but they could have torn it out.
Yeah, after the accident, I mean, that was not good at all. So they could have pulled the plug.
And it seems like that Dragster might have been on their radar, at least that's what I've heard, like prior to the accident, of like maybe it's time to do some refreshing because it's not super reliable. And I imagine you know, Six Flags Great Adventure is probably watching this too because they have issues with King to Caw frequently. And unfortunately, I felt like maybe that accident was like, okay, now is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And
oh, absolutely.
My guess is this is something that's been in the works for a lot longer than the time that it's been closed, personally.
But I think that was the nail in the coffin where it's
Correct.
like, okay, we need to start work on this right now, immediately. Because, I mean, a lot of people go to Cedar Point for this ride. Like, Cedar Point has an amazing lineup of roller coasters, but this is like, it might be the icon of Cedar Point. I mean, it's the tallest thing there. It's a huge photo op. Like, they literally have the bandstand set up so people can just sit there and watch that thing take off, which, by the way, I hope they still have for this.
Well, I think it was in the animation.
I don't know. I must have missed that then.
But one thing that I think was in the animation that was very surprising that we didn't touch on yet, because we just brought up the accident, it looks like the queue is in the same spot. Which is interesting because I thought after what happened, they were going to say, we don't want people standing here anymore, but now they're still cattle penning everybody in there.
Yeah. They must have realized that, like, this accident was a crazy one-off, and it never should have happened, and it never should happen ever again. And so I think that they're like, okay, as long as that stays the case, then putting a queue in the center where it's been for 20 years and didn't have an issue until the very end, then it should be fine. But what's interesting is, remember, Great Adventure originally had King to Caw's queue in the same spot. And then they had a different issue that they then said, all right, let's move it, and we're going to put it near the launch track, kind of outside the ride parameters. I don't know, just interesting to see how this goes. I think it'll be fine, but it was a little surprising.
I do think it's definitely going to be something to get used to, because, you know, you still get the same dragster view in one direction, and then you turn around and there's a big old 420-foot stick in the air.
Yeah. I mean, when we were at Cedar Point this past summer, we literally saw the footers for this thing, which, first of all,
so big.
So convenient that there was room that they could even add a spike there, that there was, like, the perfect spot, like, within where Iron Dragon goes, that they could place that. So that was, like, really convenient.
Speaking of that, they're probably going to have to shut that ride down.
Oh, as soon as they start building this thing? Yeah. I expect Iron Dragon to close early this season, for sure.
I don't know. Like, I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm excited for Zamperla, because this could be huge for them.
Yeah. Oh, it will. Because, like, first of all, other companies could watch this and be like, okay, if we wanted to do something like this in the future, then they could. I mean, honestly, Accelerator at Knott's Berry Farm has been closed for a long time.
Well,
that's been very problematic. Like,
that's probably another one that's sitting back and watching this. Like, Cedar Point's kind of being the test dummy here for, like, what could be a potential solution for these coasters.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they're trying to reopen Accelerator, but I mean, like, long term, I don't know, that's another very unreliable ride. And then other chains are probably watching to see, like, okay, if Zamperla works out here, then hey, Zamperla has gone above and beyond with, like, upgrading their coaster division and, like, going all out with this massive project. That's a telltale sign that, hey, they can do other things too. I mean, they've released a bunch of cool animations for other rides that they are trying to get people to buy, and no one's picked up yet, but I think after this, we will see some in the future.
So obviously we're all going to miss Dragster. We're going to miss the iconic music, because they're probably not going to bring that back, which is kind of sad. I liked that song.
Hopefully something new.
Yeah. But let us know what you guys think. Are you excited? Are you disappointed?
So thank you so much for joining us for this. Tomorrow there'll be an official analysis of Top Thrill 2. They'll go a lot more in depth, so stay tuned for that one. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.